What is up, guys? It is Friday, and it is Higgins in Japan. And that means that it's time for another episode of Higgins Does Japan. No, wait. Higgins Eats Japan. No, wait. ABCs of Japan. No, wait. Hold on. Oh, no, it's just the Friday episode. There's a theme song right here. Alright, so hopefully there was a theme song. If not, then I lied, but whatever. What is up, guys? It is Friday. I'm driving home. Just got done with softball practice. It was raining, hence the wet hair and the rain and the condensation on the back of the window and all that good stuff. Anywho, if you're new to the channel, which there are a couple new subscribers, awesome, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna run this red light. No, don't tell anybody. Anywho, if you are new to the channel, Friday videos are videos where I answer questions from people on my Facebook fan page, or that send me questions through the emails or through Twitter or whatever. The easiest way to do it is just to comment on this video on YouTube and I'll see it. And then, you know, who knows, maybe I'll answer your question. And I got a couple questions today. We're going to get to those quick, and then I wanted to talk about something else before I get home. So, that being said, if you have questions or comments or suggestions, you can always leave them below, or you can head over to facebook.com/HigginsInJapan, send me a message, and, you know, whatever. So anyways, I did get a question about whether or not I owned any Japanese clothing. And I'm assuming that that they meant, like, you know, the traditional, or what you would think of as traditional type Japanese clothing. And actually I do. I own a, I think it's called a Jimbe? Maybe. Jamboree? I don't remember. Anyways, I'll put a picture of it right here. But basically it is like a summer thing that you wear when you go to festivals, or, you know, that sort of thing. It's kind of a kimono for men, but it's like a summer version. It's not really like the big heavy, obviously, because it's for summertime. I bought it last year during the summer, was gonna wear it to a festival, and then, long story short, didn't. But mostly because it's, I don't know. No, this is me personally, and now that I know that there are people that do this, but me personally, I don't know, I feel weird walking around in, like, traditional Japanese clothing. Now, you can go to Ueno Park during the summer when there's festivals, and they have a booth where you can go and you can dress up in a kimono and get your picture taken. I don't know. If for me, it's one of those things where it's like tourists come to Japan, they pose in the traditional clothing of Japan so they can post it on Facebook and say, oh, look at me, I'm Japanese now. Which, whatever, maybe that's not their reasoning behind it. That's just my personal opinion. And it'd be almost like Japanese people coming to America and going, I'm gonna buy some cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and, you know, take pictures and show all my friends that I'm American now. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just not, like, I have it and I own it. I wear it in the summertime when I'm around my apartment because, to be honest, it's super, super comfortable. It's really, like, light, and, like, it's great for the summertime. I would never wear it in public. That's just me personally. That's just my thing. Like I said, I've known people that have worn them in public, and they're not people that I like. But anyways, no, it's whatever. It's said and done with. I just don't personally. I just personally wouldn't. I forget what the other question was. I know there's another question. I'll get to it next week, probably. But what I wanted to talk about on this video, since I can't remember any of the questions that were asked, it's been 2 months now since I've been teaching junior high. And I still kind of have I still have 2 elementary schools that I teach at. But it's usually only once a week, and it's only 2 classes per school. So usually like 4 lessons a week are still elementary school. But I kind of wanted to talk about like the differences between junior high and elementary school, because I always say this in my videos. If you're coming to Japan to teach, there are some major differences as what's expected of you as a teacher, depending on the grade level. Now, I've never taught high school. I'm not allowed, or I don't teach high school. Anyways, no, I've just never taught high school in Japan. But, so I can't really comment on what goes on. But for junior high and elementary school, I'll start out with elementary school because I've been doing that for the longest. Basically, the long and short of it is you have 45 minutes and the lesson is completely yours. Now, if you work for a company or you work for a school board that wants you to teach a certain lesson, obviously they'll give you certain lesson plans, but what you do with that lesson, how you teach it, you know, whatever materials you use, whatever, that kind of stuff, that's all up to you as the teacher. And when you get into the classroom, and I've talked about this before, the different types of teachers that, will help you out or won't help you out, depending on, if they're busy that day or if they want to help you or whatever. But essentially the lesson is yours. Like the 45 minutes that you have with those students, that's your time. So there was a goat. Sorry. I just drove past like a hair salon and saw a guy feeding a goat inside the... Alright, anyways, like I was saying, yeah, the lesson's yours. You got 45 minutes with these students and, you're in charge of everything. And, you might have teachers helping you, you might have teachers, aides helping you, you might have nobody helping you. But like the lesson is yours to teach, to plan, to everything. Now, junior high could vary. Like I've seen things where people said that they've planned their entire junior high lesson curriculum. So if you're getting a job at like a private school, maybe that's the case. I teach in public school, so I can give you the example of public school. Public school, basically, I don't plan anything, like lesson-wise. The lessons, there's 3 books that they use, 1 for each grade level, and I don't plan any of those lessons. Now, I get, a heads up, they give me my schedule a week in advance and say, okay, this class on this day is going to be on this page. So, it benefits you to read over that lesson beforehand. That way you don't get into class and go, oh, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. Now, the structure of the lesson and the activities in the lesson, you might not know, the order of however the teacher is going to teach. But, I mean, what I do, lock my doors, what I do is I go in with the teacher. They've got the lesson already planned out, and they give me anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes at the beginning of class to do my own little kind of like warm-up. They just call it an easy game, a warm-up activity, where I'll ask a random question, get some answers from volunteers, and then say, okay, now everybody stand up, and ask 3 friends whatever the phrase is that's on the board. Today, the phrase for the one class was, what country do you want to visit? So I quickly go over the phrase. Like junior high school students, for the most part, can read pretty much whatever you write on the board. They'll have to sound out some of the words sometimes, which is fine, perfectly fine. But, they will, be able to at least try to read it. You've also got the Japanese teacher there who will quickly explain it in Japanese so they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing and they know what the phrase is. But yeah, I'll go over it a couple of times, and then I'll, you know, give them, like, here's the question, what country do you want to visit? Now, what's the answer? I want to visit 90, whatever. And I'll get answers from them, write a couple countries on the board, and say, okay, now, ask 3 friends, what country do you want to visit? Once they're done, they sit down, and then we get into the book lesson. Now, for the most part, I stand up at the front of the classroom after that, and there's texts, there's different listening activities that they do in the book, and it's my job to basically just read those dialogues. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, let's read over the new words for this lesson, and, you know, like the whole, like, listen and repeat. Listen to what I'm saying, repeat the words. We'll do that a couple of times. Different teachers do it different ways, honestly. Some teachers rely on flashcards, and they'll do the translation right there, because the flashcards for those lessons, one side's English, flip it over, one side's Japanese. So they're doing a lot of, like, what's the new word? What's the word in Japanese? All right, now here's the word in Japanese. What is it in English? So a lot of translating type stuff. Go through the lesson, and, you know, lessons vary from day to day. Sometimes they'll be doing a lot of writing, sometimes they'll doing a lot of reading, and sometimes they'll, you know, be doing, like, practicing a dialogue like they were doing today. So your job as a junior high element, or as a junior high English teacher, is a lot different. It's a lot more, you know, and then the rest of the time I'll walk around the class, make sure the students are, you know, paying attention, or just make sure they are, you know, filling out their papers or whatever they have to be doing, or grading as I'm walking around. So yeah, it's a lot less of me actually doing the teaching, and more of me just standing up at the front and, you know, pronouncing words or whatever. The other thing is, in junior high, at least in my experience, the junior high, and this is kind of general for most places in Japan, they have English 3 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week, depending on whatever. But you won't be there for all of those classes. They move you around quite a bit. You'll usually hit each class once a week. I've got 12. So it's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade for junior high, and then 4 classes for each one of those grade levels. So I've got, I'm not a math magician, but I've got like 12 classes a week. And so they will bounce me around to each, so I will hit each grade level once a week. And, you know, and then, you know, you got a lot of downtime, so I grade papers. You've got interactive forum, which I'll do a video on once that gets closer. You know, there's a lot of stuff other than teaching in the classroom that you do. So yeah, those are the big differences. I'm gonna go because this video is getting kind of long. But yeah, like always, if you guys have any questions or comments or suggestions, leave them in the section below. Also head over to facebook.com/Higgins in Japan if you have any questions for me. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. I've got a whole bunch of videos coming out soon, so don't worry. This week was kind of weird and busy. But yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. Peace.